Well, the federal Liberal Party is now officially going back to the drawing board. Victorian Liberal Senator Jane Hume and the party's former federal director, Brian Lonay, are conducting a review into the performance and lessons from last week's election loss. Let's hope Brian, by the way, listens very carefully to his wife on this one. They'll be taking submissions right up until the end of June. But to kick them off tonight, here's my no-holds-barred submissions for the committee. The party must immediately sack the advertising and marketing company which ran the electronic campaign. It was the worst approach in living memory. And political campaign that is handed the quality of gaffes Anthony Albanese dished out and stares a gift horse like that in the mouth should never be commissioned to run a campaign again. Then they need to kick the New South Wales Liberal Party in the proverbial backside for not being able to decide on the selection of no less than 7 candidates in the seats across the state. To leave most of these candidates with just 7 weeks to fundraise, to order paraphernalia and prepare a crucial campaign in some winnable seats was a complete and incompetent farce. That's the New South Wales Liberal Party. The review should not underestimate how much Scott Morrison's popularity played in this loss. It was the single biggest factor. And if Josh Frydenberg had challenged for the leadership when he was prompted to do so last year by some members in the party, he would have come very close to winning that election. Now, on the Teals, this is not rocket science. They were 3 trick ponies, just 3 tricks. This mob had a conviction to offset climate change. They wanted to support an integrity commission, and the candidates were polished communicators. That was all they had. So to negate the Teals, all Peter Dutton has to do is prove to the electorate he's got conviction on climate change because the mob can smell a fake. But tell them the truth while you're explaining the policy. On integrity, why would you bother dying on that particular hill, especially on the basis of disputing a particular format? Negotiate to get one up and running, because the mob also has no trust in politicians, which is why they supported that particular policy. And when they select candidates in future, choose very carefully, choose the best communicators and put them in place well before the elections campaign starts. That's a plan to negate the Teals. Now, on the key policy of energy, the party must be bold, it's got to be brave. Show a point of difference and press on with a discussion about modular nuclear reactors, as most of the Western world is following the path of at the moment. More on that shortly on the show. But it can end the climate wars, it can solve anxiety over carbon dioxide emissions and give us a reliable baseload electricity all at the same time. And lastly, don't creep any further to the left, no matter who tells you to do so, because you just give the party's base a reason to jump ship. A Peter Dutton-Susan Lee leadership pairing is an experienced tag team. They can regain government for the Liberals in 3 years' time, but they can't be afraid to be bold and brave. No small target mentality. The party needs to stand for something that resonates with an aspiring population and sell the solutions to our problems strongly. I think Peter Dutton can do that. And I reckon from revolution can come evolution. And losing power, like they did last weekend, could be the best thing to happen to the modern-day Liberal Party for a generation. Bring on the learnings, the review, the reset. It's not all doom and gloom. The Liberal Party can get back in the game.